to be revealed so that people should know what is the kind of what is the nature of manas, what is the nature of buddhi, what is the nature of chitta, what is the nature of ahankara, or what is the nature of soul, consciousness. That science of mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankara should be known as it is before the academy. So psychology is required to know the rasa. Then spiritual cut. Spiritual cut means spiritual practices. Without spiritual practices, without meditation practices, we can't know, we can't grasp the rasa. So spiritual cut is also required because Indian knowledge system is a spiritual centric system. So if you want to know rasa, if you want to communicate rasa, for that spiritual cult is required, meditational practices are required. So spiritual cult is also one important component of the discipline of rasa, spiritual cult. Then aesthetic experience, rasanubhuti. Rasanubhuti, which kind of realization after rasa charavana, which kind of psychological transformation is coming, which kind of paramananda we are attaining, that should be also revealed systematically, scientifically to entire world so that they should know our rishis have contributed a lot. Our rishis were not only the acharya, they were scientists. That's why Shastra itself is science of knowledge. They were the scientists. So these are the basic components. On the basis of that, the discipline of rasa can be established. One is ontology of rasa, second is epistemology of rasa, third is metaphysics, fourth is linguistics, then psychology, spiritual cult, and aesthetic experience. If anybody is interested to do the further research in the field of Indian rasa or Indian Saundarya Shastra, so they can rethink on these basic components so that the entire rasa has to be represented systematically, scientifically before the academia or before the academic fraternity. Now the question may be raised, what is the worldview of the rasa? What should we drishti? Because if we want to do the further research, worldview is required. So what is the worldview of the rasa? So rasa can be known like this. Our acharyas, they have defined rasa in two ways. One is Ratyadhyavachinna Bhagnavarana Chideva rasa. Ratyadhyavachinna Bhagnavarana Chideva rasa. This is the definition which is given by Pandit Raj Jagannath in 17th century AD during the Shah Jahan period. The text name is Rasa Gangadhara. It is the peculiar text of poetics, Indian poetics we can say. Ratyadya avachinna bhagna varna chideva rasa. How we can know this definition? So in English I have translated this definition. Rasa is physio, psychic, spiritual, aesthetic experience. What is the rasa? Rasa is physio, psychic, spiritual, aesthetic experience. In this level, in this way, we have to know what is the rasa. Our human body can be divided into three parts. One is the physical body, another is the psychic body, and the last one is the spiritual body. And these three bodies are having the waves that is called in Sanskrit Tanamatra. Physical body is having the physical waves, psychic body is having the psychic waves, and spiritual body is having the spiritual waves. And what is the concept of Sthira? When the physical wave has been connected with the psychic wave, and psychic wave has been connected with the spiritual wave, then this is the complete state of meditation. It is called Sampragyat Samadhi. And how we can say in the psychological point of view? Physio, psychic, spiritual parallelism. Physical wave has to be intertwined with the psychic wave. It means physio-psychic parallelism. Then psychic wave has to be intertwined with the spiritual wave. Then psycho-spiritual parallelism. And the complete state of the yogi, that is called in Sanskrit Sampragyat Samadhi, when your physical wave has been connected with the psychic wave and psychic wave has been connected with the spiritual wave, then physio-psychic spiritual parallelism can be known. And this is the rasa. This is the state of happiness. This is the state of, we can say, sustainable pleasure. And rasa itself is named as Ananda. Raso Vaisa. And what is rasa? Means Ananda. Ananda means infinite happiness. Infinite happiness can be known as Ananda. So this is one definition of rasa. And in this introversive movement, we have two kinds of movement. One is called extroversive movement and another is the introversive movement. Extroversive movement means from subtle to gross, from inner world to outer world. When we are having the extroversive movement, that is called centrifugal force. When centrifugal force is dominating to the centripetal force, then this materialistic world has been manifested. This is called, means our from the consciousness to the external world. This is one kind of movement. Movement of what? Movement of our waves only. And another movement is called introversive movement. This is extroversive movement. It's called centrifugal force. Another force is centripetal force. Centripetal force is introversive movement. When from the grossness, your waves are confining to your consciousness, your wave movement of the waves is from the outer world to inner world. This is the inner journey. For that, centripetal force is required. Introversive movement is required. When your waves are having the introversive movement or centripetal force is dominating to the centrifugal force, then you will be in the state of samadhi. You will realize the spiritual bliss, real bliss. So, rasa can be known in two types. One is centrifugal force and another is centripetal force. And Pandit Raj Jagannath
Sir, please continue.
Yeah.
Students will keep coming.
They are the students. I thought maybe guest faculty also.
We have many mature.
Oh, great. So it would be my great pleasure also. The University of Allahabad, so many matured people are there, and Dakshinamurti Stotra, Adi Shankaracharya composed. He says that Aho Pat Tanur Mule, Vridha Shishya Guru Yuva. Shishyas are the Vridha, and Guru is Adi Shankaracharya. He was the young fellow. Then, means Vyakhyan is going on MOOC. Guru to Maunam Vyakhyanam. He is transmitting through the spiritual practices. He made a aura so that who are coming in that circumstances, everybody is getting the knowledge. Means they are transforming themselves. So Guru to Maunam Vyakhyanam. Shishya Chinna Sansaya. And all the sansayas, doubts, impurities, ignorance are removing. So this is our tradition, sir. Vridha Shishya Guru Iva. So this is mentioned by the Adi Shankaracharya, Dakshinamurti Stotram. So one definition of rasa is Ratyagya Yavachina, Bhagna, Varna, Chidev Rasa. Chid means your consciousness can be known as rasa. Yourself can be known as rasa. But which kind of self? Ratyadhyavachina. That consciousness has to be qualified by the rati and etc. permanent feelings. When the rasa, when the chid is qualified by the ratyadi, these are asthai bhav, rati and like that harsh and other things are there. So 8 feelings are there. Somebody are saying that no feeling, 9 feelings are there. Permanent asthai bhavas are there. Ratyadya avachinna bhagna varna chidev rasa. Your consciousness itself can be known as rasa once this consciousness is qualified by ratyadi. This is one definition. And in this definition, which kind of movement of the body is there? That is called introversive movement, centripetal force. And another, on the basis of that, we can say in the psychological point of view, what is the rasa? Rasa is physio-psychic, spiritual aesthetic experience. Physio-psychic, spiritual aesthetic experience can be known as rasa. And the definition of rasa has been given by the Pandit Rajagannatha in Rasa Gangadhara, and he is claiming that this is the view of Acharya Abhinav Gupta, Mammat, and so on. He is representing Acharya Abhinav Gupta's view in terms of rasa. He is saying that Bhagna Varna Chid Visishta Ratyabhi Rasa. Ratyabhi eva rasa. These permanent feelings, rati itself is manifesting in the form of rasa. Rati are, these are 8 sthai bhava and